Hey, good morning or good evening, everybody. Hopefully, everybody is doing good today. I want to get a microphone and a video check first, and then we'll go ahead and get started. It's a nice rainy day here in Lapu-Lapu. We got a tropical storm that's going to be making landfall pretty soon, or it might already be hitting landfall. I think it's over hitting in Negros, but yeah. So as soon as I get, okay, we got somebody who confirmed already on the sound. Awesome. Yeah, just before we get started here, so this will be my last live stream for about a week or so, at least a week, because I'm going to take a vacation. From my vacation, I'm going to head down south and visit some friends and go see some locations, do some filming, test out my new drone, which I'm excited to add some different video features into my filming when I do that. So that'll be kind of interesting. Hopefully, I don't crash it into the ocean, but yeah, I'll practice with that. So let's see here. I look a little bit dark. I got it's kind of dark outside today. I just have the one light on, but hopefully that's okay. Anyway, so today's topic, and I'll actually have a sister video to accompany this live stream about finding happiness here in the Philippines. And the reason why I came up with this topic is because I don't know why recently I've met like two polar opposites lately. Real quick, let me just do a, let's see here. Oh, thank you, Ryan. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that. Good morning. Have a coffee. I've got a coffee buddy. I will head out later probably and grab another one, though. Can never have enough coffee. And I do want to just a big shout out to my YouTube members, by the way. Thank you for the support. Appreciate that, guys. If you see a few of you guys here, so appreciate that. But yeah, I've run into some people lately, like polar opposites. You got people that are on the one side of the spectrum that are just absolutely miserable here. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? This person was probably miserable before they got here. And a lot of people think they're going to come out here and it's going to be all sunshine and roses and the Philippines is going to bring them happiness. And that's not true. I think you need to probably be on your way of being a happy person already or finding things that make you happy. Just coming out to the Philippines doesn't make you a happy person, I think. And then I've met people who are just enjoying life. I mean, really, really enjoying life. And I think that's kind of the key. I've noticed differences just talking to them that they really are. The Philippines has enhanced their life, I would say. You know, they were already probably in a pretty good place. They were pretty happy. And I would say the Philippines just enhanced it. But we'll get to some comments and we'll talk about it a little bit more. But we got Ron here in Davao, and Davao is actually going through another surge of COVID, and so is Dumaguete, Negros, and they're both being hit with stricter quarantine measures again. In Dumaguete, they've got the health department going around, like making sure all the businesses are following the rules and the regulations. They will be fined, imprisonment up to 10 days and a 3,000 peso fine, and people aren't wearing their masks. So things are getting strict over there in Dumaguete. And also Ron is telling me in Davao as well. So thank you, Edward, by the way. Thank you so much to the Coffee Fund Geo. Appreciate your content as always. Peace and love from Lone Tree. I appreciate that, Edward. Good to see you. I actually met up with a married couple yesterday and the day before I ran into them. But I did an interview on my channel over about a year ago, and they were in California living. And they have a really interesting story because they had to jump through a bunch of hoops to get over here. They came over on the Bali Kabayan visa. And when they got here, they've been like jumping from location to location, kind of skipping out where it's the strictest and where they can travel. And they had a pretty interesting story. And I got that on film a couple of days ago. I'll release that pretty soon. And while I'm on a vacation for my vacation, I have done so much filming lately that I literally have a video coming out every couple of days, which is good for you guys, or maybe bad. I don't know. Let's see here. By the way, thank you, Dr. Rub. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that, guys. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna head down south and enjoy for a while. Hopefully this weather clears up, because right now we got it's not a typhoon, it's a tropical storm. But, so Ron says he found his happiness when he got off the plane in Cebu, and my girlfriend ran up and hugged me after waiting 9 months to be with her. Then that was 2.5 years ago, and I'm happier today than I've ever been in my life. Good. Well, hopefully you were already happy though, Ron, and I'm assuming that this just enhanced your life. Hopefully you weren't living a miserable life and then you got here and you were happy. That can happen, but usually not. So, hey, Mark, how you doing? Good to see you. Anytime from the Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia. You guys are prisoners in Australia, right? You're not allowed to travel yet, from my understanding. Great topic, which is what we all want in life, and I'm no exception. I'm looking to have a great stream. Thank you. Yeah, and here's what I was talking about. Ron actually said, not to change the subject, but the cases are on the increase here in Davao. A neighbor just tested positive, and they've been enforcing the restrictions again. Yeah, and that's happening in Dumaguete as well, and a few other places, from my understanding. Meanwhile, I think Thailand is starting to loosen up again, and I think things are going to open soon. We'll see what happens in Thailand. So, good to see you, Bonsai Treehouse. And we got Jenny here. Jenny's over here in Mactan as well. Life is beautiful. Let's spread love, hope, and faith. Have a good Tuesday vibe and a nice rainy day in Mactan, Cebu. Grass is always greener. It is a rainy day, so it looks like editing videos and Netflix for me. Maybe run out to a restaurant perhaps later. But I will probably take off on Thursday here. So, Gio, am I correct? You served in the military. Thanks for your service. Appreciate that, Bonsai. Yep, I was in the Army for a bit. Hey, Jean-Pierre, how you doing? Good to see you. Maxwell, good to see you. Yesterday, new cases in the U.S. hit a one-year low of 7,700. If you multiply that times 365 days, 2.7 million cases a year, or 0.8% of the population. Looks like we're wrapping it up. Time to travel. Time for you guys to travel, and here, kind of the opposite, I guess. Thought you could get it out of the way early in your stream. Yeah, I started a little bit later today. Normally I start a little bit earlier. So we got Dr. Rubb here. How you doing? Good morning, Kenneth. Good to see you. All right, let's see. Everybody says they can see me. Got good morning, Gio, from Elfers, Florida. People say I look dark. I look better in the dark. Hey, Ride for Life, Fit for Life. Funny enough, that video is coming. I interviewed him and his long distance marriage, and that video is coming out in the next day or two. Wow, I have hair. Yeah, yeah. Like Ron said, I look better. I look better in the dark. What's the dog's name behind me? I don't know. I haven't named them. I'll let you guys name them. I got two of those pillows. There's one in the bedroom, and then there's one on the sofa here. Came with the place, no extra charge. Can you believe that? So we got David or Dave. Good morning from Sacramento, and Jonathan. How you doing? Have a feeling I'll be joining my darling in the Philippines. Hopefully. Rosamy, hi from Cebu. Oh, okay. I'm in Cebu as well. Good to see you. And good day, Greg. Got Randy over in Austin, Texas. Hello from Columbia, South Carolina. Good to see you. Let's see. Jenny's got all kinds of quotes for the day. Happiness is such a big word, but if someone wants to start a new chapter in their life and a new destination, one thing I'm pretty sure, leave the old negativity and ugly baggage behind and start anew. Yep, for sure. Don't worry, be happy. I remember when that song came out. I don't even remember who sang it, but if I remember right, I think Chevy Chase was in the video. He did like a cameo. Maybe somebody can fact check me on that, but I think Don't Worry, Be Happy, and I think that Chevy Chase made an appearance in that video. Hey, good morning, Roger. So, Jeff, it's hard to find happiness here in the Philippines when I see things open up more in America, and in the Philippines is still trying to figure out how to navigate through COVID, but it is getting better. Yeah, here in Cebu, things are pretty good. I'm pretty happy. What makes me happy? That's actually a good question. When I wasn't here back in the U.S., I really wasn't so happy. I felt like my whole life was consumed with work and bills. I really, that's what it feels like when I was in the U.S. I felt like I was rinse, repeat, and I wake up in the morning, go to work, get home, eat dinner, maybe watch some TV, repeat the process. And that's really how I felt my life was. I really didn't even have much of a social life back in the U.S., not towards the end, not after marriage and divorce. When I was single, I did for a while. But here, I started to actually really enjoy life because of my free time. I had much more free time. And I also realized that it's more social interactions made me happier than possessions and other things. In the West, I think it's just constantly thrown in your face just from advertising all around. Every time you turn on your computer, every time you drive outside, every time you turn on the radio or the TV, everything is like pushing you to get something new, something better, new cell phone, new TV, new granite countertops, whatever. And I look back at all this money I would spend on all these various items. None of it brought me happiness, but you feel like you have to do it. I don't know. The other thing is, and I talked about this in the video that I did, this is a cash society, and I am much happier in a cash society where I don't have any debt. I'm not pressured. You go into a store and it's like, I don't have the money to buy this TV, but hey guys, we have 6 months, no payments, no interest. You can walk out of the store with this TV right now. Guess what? Here in the Philippines, it's starting to come. You'll start to see some things where they do have some credit here. Most people don't qualify for it, so it's still very, very much a cash society. So when you go into a place, guess what? If I don't have the money for an item, like for example, when I bought this new DJI Pocket 2, guess what? I didn't have the money because it was about $500, and I wanted to buy a bunch of accessories, so it ended up being around $600. I initially didn't have the money immediately. Do I go put it on a credit card? No. Here in the Philippines, I waited and said, okay, next month I'll get it. I'll just save it. I'll save half of it this month. Next month I'll get it. And that's the way it works for most Filipinos as well. So I kind of like that. How you doing, Stephen? Good to see you. And we got Edwin here. How you doing? It's good to see you. A lot of lonely old bitter men think they found money for love, happiness. That's a very good statement. I like that because a lot of people come out here to the Philippines and they are miserable. And all they do is complain about, well, in the U.S. we do it this way and the U.S. does it better. And it's just annoying to be around those people. It's like, listen, you're living in the Philippines now. You either accept it or you don't accept it. If maybe the Philippines isn't for you, but geez. Yeah, I'm excited. By the way, Ryan, I have been practicing, and I've also been watching videos on it. So I feel like I'll have some good footage. So I'm pretty excited. Brian, I've been watching your channel since you have relocated to Cebu, and you act a lot more relaxed. I'm definitely a lot more happy. Absolutely. And it wasn't just because of my relationship, so I don't want people to think that. It was also because I was very stagnant in one spot. I was very restricted, and I had seen everything I had wanted to see in Negros Oriental. and I was bored, honestly. So, hey, Richard. Yeah, Richard came over from Bohol to go check out Mactan Newtown, and he likes it. So, need another coffee? Yes, the Philippines has enhanced my life for sure. Yep, absolutely. Rosamie, hello. How you doing? Let's see. Oh, thank you, Ed, for the super chat. Cannot escape misery. It follows you. Enjoy your vacation from your vacation. Yeah. Tornado in the south, I hear. I think you're talking about the U.S., but here we do have a tropical storm hitting landfall here. We should be thankful we are still breathing and enjoying life while others there are struggling. Always look at the bright side. Absolutely. Hey, Gio, salute to our fallen heroes and all our vets. Absolutely. Happy Memorial Day. In Tennessee, now 100% open with no masks. That's excellent. That's what I'm hearing. The U.S. is just starting to open up. People aren't having to wear masks anymore. It's got to be freeing. I can't wait for that day. Hey, good morning, Andrew. How are things progressing in the Cebu area? Things seem to be really good here in Cebu. I had just gone through a bad divorce, but I left that back in the U.S. I was happy to get away from it. Yeah, you and me both. Good morning, Roselle. Good to see you. I remember starting to watch you a year ago thinking this will all be over in a few months. You and me both. When this whole thing started, I really thought a few months at the most. How could it possibly go on for this long? And here we are. Here we are. Would love to come there eventually, especially with hyperinflation and higher taxes about to take place in the U.S., but hard to get away from here, and I don't believe in the vaccine. Well, you could go to other places, you know. Let's see. Happy Memorial Day. Thanks to all our veterans for their service. Absolutely. How you doing, Mark? Hello from Tennessee. Come on, Green Lanes. Ed from Queens is over in Tennessee as well. So I'm a happy campy Gio, about to retire. We'll be moving to Bacolod to be with my family. Thanks for all your fine work. I've learned so much. Thank you for your service. Thank you. I appreciate that. Seems like a lifetime ago that I was in the Army, I tell you. Distant memory. How you doing, Daryl? And hey, Tom. Hi, Gio from Bozeman, Montana. Still here, unfortunately, waiting for the Philippines to open. Any chance it will happen in June or July? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen in June or July. By the way, Paul has joined in. If anybody wants to join today's live stream, let me know. I'll be glad to send you out an invite if you have something you want to share about anything. No problem. I think Paul went to grab coffee, and then we'll add him into the show here. Just an observation from my studies, this whole pandemic BS is a eugenics program, vaccine death shot. Okay. It isn't raining here in Davao. The storm is way north of us. Okay. And Butch, good to see you from California. Hi, Gio. Here in Idaho, the governor has declared illegal to mandate the use of masks, so no one that doesn't want to has to wear a mask. That's excellent, Julius. Excellent. The dog's name is Cannoli. I like it. That's a good name, Cannoli. By the way, I miss a good cannoli. I have never seen a cannoli here in the Philippines anywhere. I don't think they can even get the ingredients with the cannoli shells and the ricotta cheese. Maybe they can't even get it. I don't know. Paul is back, so we'll bring Bobby McFerrin. Oh, it was Robin Williams. Robin Williams. That's right. Paul, are you ready to be on the live stream? Raining cats and dogs in Camigan. Paul says yes. Hey, Paul. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Gio. How are you?
Good. Rainy day here in Mactan.
Yep.
Here. Yeah.
It is. Well, we talked about, I know your topic is happiness. We were talking about that yesterday. Yeah. And I did mention this to you, but I'll mention it again. But
yeah,
it's funny because before the topic, I was actually talking to a friend of mine, and we are talking about when was the happiest times in our lives. And this is a childhood friend, and we came to the conclusion the happiest times in our lives was always the times that we were the most social, you know. So the time you had enough time to be with friends, and that you had a certain amount of friends that you could thrive with.
Right.
The other thing we talked about is the importance of, like, I have a couple of friends that can be very negative. They tend to focus on the negative stuff, and if anything negative comes up, they really focus on it. So you got to focus on the positive. Always focus on the positive, and not. I see a lot of people, both here in the U.S., not so much the Filipinos, but more the foreigners. You know, they complain about stuff instead of doing something about something. Like, you know, doing something. You can always resolve something about yourself, right? Like if you're not having any. Example, if you're not having any luck with women, maybe hit the gym, maybe learn better game, whatever it takes to have better luck with women, right? Or if you're not happy with something, you know, you got to do something about it. So if you're not happy where you are, you know, then what can you do? I mean, you got to make a plan and decide to do something about it, not just complain, you know. So I think people who want to be happy, they got to focus on the positive, focus on the glass half full and not the glass half empty, and then do something. Always try to do something about your situation.
I think a lot of the expats come out here, they're retired, and they are bored out of their mind because they don't have any activities that they do, or they just, I don't know, they just come here to die, I guess. I don't know, but they don't. I think that's a problem too. Is you got to have something to keep you busy, to keep your mind active. You know.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. So
that's what I've emphasized. Make a plan before you come out here, not just where you want to live and who you want to meet and everything, but also what you're going to do. You know.
Right.
If it's hard, I'm telling you, it's hard. If you're working, you know, in the U.S., typically, if you have a job, you're not working 40 hours, you're working 50. In the oil field, I worked 60 to 80 hours a week. And then going from that to just, now I was lucky because I got a project while I was in the Philippines, so it kind of tapered down, but going from, you know, 60, 80 hours to just time off all the time, it is not as simple as people think, you know.
Thank you, Ryan, for the super chat. Buy Paul coffee if you want. No, I don't want to.
I already have it.
Joking. Sure, I'll buy you a coffee. When the Philippines opens up, I'll buy you. Okay. No, so somebody asked me, what am I going to do when my 3 years is up? Well, the Philippines, I'm hoping, because I have another year, so I'm guessing the Philippines will be open by then. But if for some reason it wasn't, either way, I have to go back to the U.S. and I have to take care of banking and expired license, see my family, and a bunch of other things. And so I'll probably be gone about 2 months or so. What about you? When your 3 years comes up, what do you plan on doing?
Well, by then, I can't say 100%, but 99.9% sure it's going to be open because mine is up 1st of August. So, I mean, next 1st of August, 2022. So, but there's also people I know that have actually applied for extension, even though their 3 years are up, and some people are not aware of this, that you can actually apply for extension. And I believe he got 6 months or 2 months, I can't remember. And you can keep reapplying. Now it's expensive, but you know, you can do that.
Reconsideration or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's an option. Living to work. Yep, absolutely. Okay, there we go. That's the song I was thinking about. There was a song in the 80s, and I remember it had Chevy Chase in it, and it was Call Me Al with Paul Simon. That's it. Thank you, guys. Yep. Find my happiness the day my foot sets ground and vow. There you go.
Now, just quickly, many people that come over here essentially will find a higher, like we were talking about yesterday, it's like, okay, some people might have an index of happiness from 1 to 10, and maybe they're at a 5, I think it bumps it up a couple of 3 points when you're here. But obviously, if you're at a 6 or 7 in the US and you come over here, maybe you go to a 9 or a 10 because, you know, the life here is more relaxed, and you have to be aware of that. It's much more relaxed and much more social and much more, you know, the Filipinos, they just, well, it's like kind of like the Spanish, mañana, mañana.
Right. You have to adopt to a more relaxed, slower paced life. Things don't, it's not like the US or Australia or Canada or whatever, where you go into the bank and if you have some problem, they take care of it immediately.
No.
No, you're talking tomorrow or the next day, or, oh, that person's on lunch, come back tomorrow. They're on vacation. You need to come back next week. And you're like, what? They're on vacation? There's nobody else I can talk to. You know,
No.
you just have to accept it. I
kind of have to laugh internally.
You do. You really do. You got to let it go. You just, otherwise you'll be just upset. And we know, like I said, we know somebody who just gets upset and angry all the time. And you're like, he's been here a couple of years now. If you're still getting upset and angry over this, the Philippines may not be for you. Okay.
Not just may not. It is not for you.
Right.
I would say that way. Yeah.
Now, there is a fit for you in Asia. You could probably go to Malaysia or something like that, where it's going to be a bit faster pace and more organized. But yeah, Philippines is not for everybody. Let's face it. So
there's quite a few expats that come here and they're here. Some are here for less than 6 months and they leave, and some are even like 5 to 7 years seems to be the breaking point, and then they leave and they basically never come back. So
Malaysia's locking down Tuesday, I believe. I haven't heard anything. I really haven't followed. I just kind of follow the Philippines news for right now. Jennifer Terry is a Filipino vlogger. Yep, I know her. Says changes are coming June 1st and something again September. Here's the thing: is I know she's really good at delivering the news, and I actually like her a lot because she doesn't have to put on a bikini and do to get views, you know. But the point is, I don't think she knows any more than anybody else. So I don't know what will happen June 1st or September 1st. I don't know where people get all this inside information, but we'll see what happens. Maybe she knows something I don't. A vlogger like this, I always wonder, because her channel is all about Philippines news and it's all relying. People are really watching it heavily because they want they're waiting for news for the Philippines to open. When the Philippines opens, I wonder what happens with her channel. She's going to have to transition into something else because nobody's going to really care to watch the news once it's open. Nobody really pays attention to the Philippines news so much. I don't know.
But she's a smart girl, so she'll transition to something else, and she'll do well.
Yeah. Hopefully, she's thinking about that in her head already, though, about what she's gonna. I got my 13A from JRC. Now I'm relaxing and will never go back to the U.S. Well, I turned 50 in July, and then I can get the SRRV, and I have the military, so I only have to put $1,500 down. So I think I might do that. And I won't keep you forever, Paul. You can stay as long as you want, as long as you're not busy. And then if anybody else wants to join, please let me know. So, what do you have going on today, Paul? So it looks like
oil change for my motorbike, and
today or tomorrow? Today's Tuesday.
Oh, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, I keep thinking today's Wednesday for some reason.
No. Well, let's see. It's hard being happy when all you do is work. You're a lucky dog. You know, when I first got here, my first 2 years here, I was working 40, 50 hours a week. Actually more like 50 hours a week or so. And that's why I ended up, I was like, I came out here and I'm happy I'm here, but I'm not really fully enjoying it because I'm working so much. So I ended up quitting and I moved to Vietnam because I ended up getting a job where I was only working about 20 hours a week for around the same amount of money. And then I figured out a way to do it online. And I'm the boss and get my own private students, and came back. So I think that's the ways to find the income to come in without working much and passively, right?
Now, some people enjoy their work, so
yeah.
I mean, I was an engineer in oil and gas, and I loved my job. I mean, I worked 60 to 80 hours a week, but it was when you work that much, there's something missing. And for me, the missing part was the social life. And, if I did have a girlfriend, it usually didn't last long because I was working all the time, and I didn't put an effort into it. So, work can be very giving for some people.
Let's see. Bobby McFerrin, don't worry, be happy. My pest control business did the service at his house outside of Philadelphia for 5 years. Wow.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Don't be sorry. You're correct. We're taught to be slaves to possessions here in the U.S. You have to work all the time to keep up. Absolutely. And not only the U.S., I think it's probably the same just anywhere in the West, Canada, UK, Australia. I think it's probably
Okay, so I've lived in Europe, and I've been in Canada, and I've been in the US. And the US is actually the worst. And I think the reason is all the advertising, like as an example, in Norway, at least when I lived there, you weren't allowed to advertise towards kids. Okay, so you couldn't advertise towards kids. And I think that's a really good rule because kids' brains are still developing and can be easily influenced, while as a grown up, you can make your own decisions. And all this bombardment with advertising, I really think is unhealthy. That's why, for example, I pay YouTube Premiere because I don't want to see all the advertising. All
right. Ed, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to Nicaragua the end of June, open and hot babes, I've been told. It's open, bonus number 1, bonus 2, hot babes.
Hot babes.
All right, now to find my place again here. Let's just see. Let's see. That's the problem. If you click on a super chat, I always lose my place. So let's see here.
Something StreamYard needs to fix.
That is something they need. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to zip through as many comments as I can here. I'm way behind again. Okay, let's see. Let's see here. Do you think Philippines will require COVID passports? Hopefully not. Well, I think maybe because the airlines here are actually pushing for it. They actually want that. So I think so. What do you think?
The IATF, I mean, it's basically a guarantee. You're going to have a vaccine to come into the country. Nothing's guaranteed in life, but 99 point something. To get into the country, I can almost guarantee you're going to have a COVID shot, a vaccine, and you're going to have some type of PCR test to show that it's negative within a certain amount of hours before traveling.
Right. And you probably will have to have travel insurance as well, just like what Thailand is doing.
Yeah. So those 3 things I think are almost like 80 to 100%, some of them. So, yeah.
Right.
At least in the beginning. Then after a while, things will loosen up, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a video one time. I did a video called Philippines Second Chance on Life. That's what he's referring to. And it really is. For a lot of people, it really is. Their life is boring. There's no love life. You come over here, you have a chance of having a beautiful
girl,
more social, less expensive. It's just a lot of things. Yeah.
And the other thing is let's say you're living on $2,000 in the US. I mean, $2,000 in the US doesn't go long, right? And you're barely getting by. And you come here and you're living on $2,000, you've got a good life. So it makes a big difference because you can go outside, you can have coffee with your friends, you can make new friends, you can go out to have a nice meal 3-4 times a week. So it makes a big difference that lifestyle makes a difference. Yeah, the quality, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you see behind me, I have the dog pillows. They were included in the condo. That's actually why I moved into this place. If the dog pillows weren't here, if you can see them, I wouldn't have moved in. It would have been all over. But she decided to throw in 2 of them, and I signed a contract immediately.
I remember you telling me that. God damn, I love those dog pillows.
Yeah, that's my exact words. God damn, I love those dog pillows. Exactly. Quoted me word for word. Gio, good day. Nice to see you. Good to see you, Edwin. Geo, no green lane until the Philippines population has been vaccinated and people can move around the country freely. Estimate 2024, less than 2% have been vaccinated at this point. I don't know if I totally agree with that, Brian. I think that's way too far out. I get why people think some of those dates because we're a year and a half into it, but I don't think it'll be that.
No, because if you look at the evidence, like if you look at how the vaccine production in the West and other countries is going exponentially high. So they've got an overload of vaccines, and those are going to be more and more, and it's going to go out to the different countries more and more. I mean, the Philippines just bought 40 million from, I can't remember which one in the US, but one of the vaccine manufacturers in the US, and that's going to accelerate. So, my thing, I think, is end of third quarter or fourth quarter this year, but you believe next year. So,
I'm still sticking with around January, first quarter of next year.
Yeah, we've bet a coffee on that. So
we bet a coffee, and I don't know if they have like the super big size like you could get at 7-Eleven, the big gulp, but that's the coffee that I will order. Or I'll bring a mug about this big, and I'll tell them I don't care how many.
With that coffee, you'll be blah, blah, blah.
I don't care how many ventis you got to dump into there. Paul's paying, so I'm going to get the most out of it.
Put more in there. More.
I know you can fit one more in there. Pon Pops, thank you. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you for your service. Thank you. Appreciate that. You should check out Tony Robbins' priming on YouTube. Help take 5 minutes a day. Kind of gets you focused on the positive in your life. You know what has helped me now recently is, and it's true. It's a fact that working out produces endorphins, and you feel happier. You really do. Even if it's just a 30-minute workout a day. I mean, it's just, and you and I actually, we have started, we would drive our bike down to the Mercado or drive down to like Tom Tom's for coffee. We just walk now.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
hit the gym and we swim, and it makes a big difference. The other thing I think is important is also, I know this might sound, but meditation has actually been proven to make people happy because it changes parts of their brains. So and it makes people more relaxed,
Yeah.
So meditating 10, 15 minutes a day is.
Credit in the Philippines means you pay double, sometimes triple. Yeah, you don't want to do credit here. Absolutely. I talked about this in the video I shot last night, which I'll get out later. Don't worry. Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm doing. The U.S. work and pay bills, rinse and repeat. Yep. Absolutely, Dave. Get out of that cycle. Well, I mean, you do what you got to do, but it's good to get out of the cycle. Hey, good morning, Warren. Got a great new house near the beach in Sydney, but would prefer to be with my fiance in Ormoc. She makes me happy. I'll have to come down and visit you, Warren, when things open up. House on the beach. Fantastic. I've never been to Australia, but I wouldn't mind going, to be honest. Home credit stores, I've used the payment system from them a couple of times. Yeah. Yes, you definitely have a chance of a new life. I'm definitely happy here. Yeah, me too. So, good morning, Stephen. Let's see, hey, Gio, what's your top 5 cities to live in the Philippines? Whew. Again, by the way, this list is constantly changing because if I find that, I haven't been everywhere as you haven't. And if I get to a place that I like, I may bump one out of the list. But right now I like Davao, Cagayan de Oro, not Cebu City, but Lapu-Lapu. And so I prefer the Lapu-Lapu area more than Cebu City. Let's see. I guess I wouldn't say Dumaguete, but I would say Valencia. And number 5, I'm going to go with like Ormoc and Leyte. That would be my top 5. Why don't those guys just go back to the U.S.? I don't know. I mean, they're miserable. Money for nothing and the chicks are free. That's right.
I think they're miserable whether they're here or they're in the U.S. It's a personality trait. It's not where you are. They could have everything perfectly aligned and they still find something to be miserable about.
Right. It's much more convenient in the U.S., but those that put the effort to settle in the Philippines will build a happy life. Absolutely. That's very well stated. Where do I see myself in 1 year time? Well, I'll still be here unless things open fully up. Then I'll probably just go back to the U.S. and get what I need to get done, taken care of, and then come back. But ultimately, still Malaysia is probably my ultimate place where I'd like to settle. Tough to sit with expats complaining for hours. I can't do it. If in Dumaguete that was a problem, you'd go into the coffee shop and the guys would just sit there and complain and complain. It's like, I didn't come here to sit around and complain about it. And the one problem is a lot of these guys are so loud too, and there's Philippine waitresses around, and they hear them, and then you're part of the group. I mean, you're associated with these guys who sit there complaining. Degrade Filipinas and things like that, and I don't like to be around. Yeah.
And then if you sit too long with them, you start becoming negative yourself. That's a problem too, So.
Right. Yeah. I feel like you're going to be going to the Philippines, and you should get used to the way. Exactly, Mark. Dumaguete is way overrated, in my opinion, especially once you start to get to other places. I think you'll see that. Yeah.
But Valencia, I like Valencia now.
Gio, did you dye your hair, or is it the lighting? It is the lighting and a little bit of hair dye. What is the super chat? That's the $sign at the bottom. That's if you want to send something for support. Yep. To all the veterans, thank you, Pon Pops. 41.2% vaccinated in the U.S. It's going fast.
That's totally vaccinated, or just one shot and some vaccinated? That's probably totally vaccinated.
I think totally, yeah. It's going fast.
That's amazing, yeah.
There was a tornado in Cagayan de Oro. Look it up. Really?
Wow.
I didn't even know the Philippines got that.
Yeah.
So. History always repeats. Good morning. Haha or Jaja. Hello, do you like to visit IT market? Sure. Are you taking me to the IT market? Good morning, Jonathan. In Philippines, you can rent a luxury condo and have plenty to do in the city, or rent a house in the province and take time to make a routine and live a relaxed, happy life. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll take over the vaccine. Okay. Let's see. I can see Philippines. I can't see Philippines suiting me. I'll try other countries though.
That's yeah.
Right. At least he acknowledges and says, yeah, it probably won't make me happy. And
I mean, hopefully he's been here. I mean, I would certainly come here for, a month and, see how I like it before making that decision, because it's hard to tell unless you've actually been here.
You said you have more free time in social life and that made you happier. Can you expand a bit on how you use the additional time? Well, I really started into exercising, so I like to go swimming a lot. I like to go to the gym. I like to go meet out and have a coffee once every few days, sometimes every day, it seems like. I like to go on small trips, and I enjoy going on a trip on my motorbike. Like I enjoy it. Once you get out of the city, out of the traffic, that part's not so enjoyable. But once you get out of the city, I enjoy hitting the road and seeing all the sights and driving along the coast in the Philippines. I like that. I think you enjoy that too, Paul. And I rarely watch TV. I find myself so busy just going out filming. And filming is actually enjoyable for me. I kind of like editing videos too. I kind of have a new format. I really won't do too many more videos where I just sit at home and do a video and talk. I'd rather be out. And I think Paul was kind of leaning towards that as well from your latest video. So.
Also, you have more time to, like, for example, me, I like to read. I like to go online and read about financial stuff or red pill or whatever subject that's interesting you. You have time to read. You have time to get into it. You just have more time to do stuff that you've been wanting to do for a while that you wouldn't have had time to in the US. And that's if you plan it. Some people come here and they just don't know what to do. They just sit there and they're bored, like a couple of our friends. So,
right. Vaccinate works. USA is proof. Hey, Gio, please explain what's technically needed to join the live stream if you know. I would just send you a link down in the comment section if there's something, if you wanted to join. Just let me know. I got to get through. Cebu went open June or July. Why? It's not open technically. It's open domestically, but not. You can still get the COVID after the vaccine. I got the vaccine because I knew the Philippines would require it for me to visit now. Hopefully they'll be open September, October when my flight is supposed to land. You have a chance. You have a chance for that. Paul thinks so, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, a soft opening.
A soft opening.
Yeah, there'll only be a limited amount of people and probably other type of regulations, yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Rubb, for the super sticker. That always sounds so dirty, that name. Dave, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you, PCW CFA. He's our resident scientist here, by the way. He is a scientist. So.
Yeah, I've seen him, yeah.
Yeah, I am so far behind on comments. Jeez. Let's see here. For Gio and Paul, how do you become friends? How do you become? Oh, how did we become friends? Oh, I thought, how do you become friends with me? I was like,
oh, you can answer that, I guess. I reached out to him. I saw him on YouTube, and I reached out to him. He was in Dumaguete, and we met for dinner. We had a good time, and
yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That was over a year ago, I believe. It was before the pandemic, so it would
before the pandemic, yeah.
Yeah. My God, I'm so far behind in comments. Thank you, Julius Caesar. That seems so bizarre to say, Julius Caesar. Thank you, Julius Caesar. Thank you, Mark Anthony and Julius Caesar and Cleopatra. Thank you all for watching my live stream. I like the name, though. I wish my name was Julius Caesar. You would have to be, you'd have kind of a
high expectations.
High expectations, yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Well, I conquered all of Europe. What did you do? All right. I created the calendar. What's funny, since I'm back here, I bumped some of the expats so grumpy they should loosen up their grumpiness. Well, maybe because you bumped into them. No, I hear you. I agree. It was very well done and timed. I may have missed some comments, guys. I am so far behind. I'm sorry. Social circles with friends with common interests and goals, and besides getting drunk and carving notches in your bedpost is important.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
59 and always. 59 always. I'm not sure what that meant. Idle time is the devil's time. That's why I say it's better to find a relationship with a girl who works here. If they don't work, they have way too much time with social media to be like, hey, what are you doing? Where are you? Who are you with? You know. Are there European-looking Pinays there?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the great thing about the Philippines is there's really just this huge mix. You got some that look totally Chinese. You got some that look Spanish. You got some that have a mix that look like Spanish would be European. So
yeah.
But you have some that just look all kinds of different looks. It's really pretty amazing.
You have Chinese, you have European look, you have any type of look. It seems like they have it here.
Very island-looking Polynesian type look. Hello,
then you have your simple Filipino look also, and just
everything. Like Vietnam and China and places like that, they seem to have a more. I may be using this word wrong. Homogenous type look. I believe that's the right word, where they have the one type of look. But the Philippines, they have a variety of different looks.
Now, the girls that have a European look, they're typically much more popular because they kind of, I don't know why, but if you got a white skin here, you're more popular if you're a girl. It's just it's the same like with the guys. They prefer. They even have cream that makes your skin whiter. Me personally, I love girls that are brown, dark to brown, middle brown. So that's just me. But Filipinos prefer girls that have white skin, and they're very popular here. So
I like my girls like I like my coffee, brown and sweet. So Thailand has confirmed they still plan to go ahead with the Phuket Sandbox no quarantine entry for vaccinated tourists from July 1st. That's excellent. Let me give a shout out to, I think I had already said that, Julius Caesar. Thank you. Edward, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm fully vaccinated and have travel planned for March 2022 and meet my LDR and take her to Palawan. Hopefully open by then, but all my reservations are fully cancelable if not. Okay, that was a good move to do that because you never know, right? Okay. We should find happiness with ourselves before being happy. What's surrounding? If I missed your comment, please maybe copy and paste it and put it back in. I don't know why I can't scroll back up past a certain point again. Geo, off track a bit, but is it true that foreigners are now financially responsible for life, not just the 10 years if the relationship goes south? In the United States, if you are married, and it doesn't matter if you sign a prenup or a postnup, you are responsible for 10 years of almost like child support. So yes, you can see that in my one video where I interviewed the attorney. So
yeah. Basically, I was married to Filipina and we got divorced before the 10 years. But if they're earning under a certain amount of money and they're claiming money from the government can come back and ask you to pay it.
Right.
From what I've read, it doesn't happen often. But maybe they're more strict now. I don't know. But that's the thing you have to worry about. But I mean, if you're getting a Filipino nurse or somebody who's educated that can make money in the U.S., more than likely you won't be stuck with that. But yeah, that's.
Hello, handsome blokes. Thank you, Diane. I don't get called that too often. Not being in Australia anyway. Archie, no less than 3 weeks. So let's come to somebody. If coming for just 2 months, do I need to use an international bank? Well, you need to have an ATM that will be accepted internationally. Typical day for me, I'll say what my day is, and Paul, you can say what your day is. I wake up, I check with my YouTube, I check comments and things like that. It's gotten to the point where I hardly can get to all the comments anymore. It's just unfortunately I can't. But grab a cup of coffee. Sometimes I meet up with people and grab a cup of coffee. I like to maybe swim in the pool. I like to do some errands. I like to take a bike trip sometimes. Sometimes I'm just doing some work and stuff. So, what about you, Paul? What's your typical day like?
Pretty much the same. I like to watch movies, so that's the reason I bought a new TV. But so I watch movies at night. I like to read. I love to exercise. Coffee, same as you. Same comments. I don't have as many as you, but go through the comments. And sometimes I don't go through them for 2-3 days because I'm busy. I've got a life, Plus I do my stock stuff, so I stay busy. I stay busy all the time.
So if you're married to a Filipina, is there a visa that you can get to not worry about the tourist visa? Yeah, the Bali Kabayan visa is the marriage visa, and yeah. I think you have to renew it yearly, or no, you have to check in yearly, but I don't think I can't remember how much. Somebody could answer that for me, but you don't have to. It's nothing like the tourist visa. It seems like so much easier to go there as far as visas as the entire process than to bring your girl here to the U.S., but pros and cons to both options. Yeah, I still think it's much more pros coming out here and much less risk of a risk factor.
The problem is, and I can talk about this out of experience, is when you bring somebody over, they will, not always, but they can be, for lack of other words, corrupted by the Western society in a way and change their personality. Now, not everybody does that, because I have a wonderful friend in the U.S. that's how old is he now? 75, 76. And his girlfriend is like 30 years younger. And, you know, they're having a great time. And but I think it also depends on the friends you have around you and all that. The worst thing you can do is bring a Filipina over to the Philippines and let her hang with other Filipinos that are divorced. That's the worst thing you can do. And that's kind of what I did, stupid as I was. But it all turned out good for me in the end. So,
right. Yeah. Things have a funny way of working out.
Yeah.
Hello from Guam. Good to see you. What can you own in the Philippines? A condo. Technically, you can own the house, but not the land on it. You can buy a motorbike or a car. So you can own quite a bit, really. DNA twisted vaccines are told. Okay. I'm not going to get too much into the whole vaccine argument here, but because there's just so many other comments. It doesn't hurt if she wears a bikini. Better if she doesn't wear one. If coming there for just too much, okay, I think we did. If you have Schwab, you're fine. If you're using a local credit union, just go into the bank and ask them. Make sure Plus or Cirrus or whatever logos, it's an international card.
I think if it says Visa on your ATM card, you can basically, I think, I'm not sure, but I'll ask the bank, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, you don't have to have Schwab. But Schwab is ATM free, so that's one thing to think about.
It's a bonus, yeah.
Any
idea? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
I
use Schwab as a bank and as a broker, and I love Schwab. It's a simple interface. You get all the information. There's a lot of good information there. They have like a robo investment thing where you just tell them what you want. You have the choices, and it just does everything for you. And so there's a lot of good stuff on Schwab. I love it. So
absolutely. Any idea what the IT job market is like in the Philippines? You're going to be hard. Remember, you have to bring something to the table that a Filipino can't do in order to get a work visa, and they interview you. And if they feel like that, hey, you're taking a job away from a Filipino, they're not going to grant you a work visa. Even the position that I had here, I had to go to Bureau of Immigration, I had to go to Department of Labor and Employment, and I had to be interviewed at both places. It was a pain, and I had the school representing me, so.
And that's the way it should be. It should be Filipinos first in the Philippines.
Yeah, absolutely. They have a job shortage, high unemployment. So.
Yep.
I used to get upset with the way things work here, and I just let it go because it's a waste of time. Yeah, it is. You don't get upset because they're out of stock out of 3 items. What you do is you get up and you go to another restaurant. Or you have about 4 choices before you go in. That's just the way things are.
But, it's getting easier now because before they didn't have Shopee and Lazada. And if there's something you don't have in your hometown, you can more than likely order it on Shopee or Lazada.
Yeah, a lot of American stuff. So. The good thing about the Philippines being closed is it saves tourists a lot of money. Yeah, I suppose. If you're only going to the Philippines, what would a driver with their own car and call 24/7 cost in Cebu? You mean renting out a car for the entire day? You could probably do it for around 5,000 pesos. I rented out a car for half a day, and it cost me 3,000 pesos. So I think you could probably work out a deal. Is there a minimum rank required for that visa for ex-military? No, there's not. If bikinis get views, when are you guys going to wash your bikes? I've been told that they would unsubscribe, so I plan on SSRV for myself. Will be 62 in November, so I think my military SS and my DoD will give me enough. Yeah, bikinis only is clickbait.
I guess we could pay some Filipina, $10 and have her clean the bikes for us.
Yes, I see Diane is in a bikini on her in her picture here. Diane, are you available to be on my thumbnail?
Or clean the bike?
Right. Hey, good morning, Seth. Diane, would you watch? Let's see here. We're all slaves to money, then we die. Yeah. Is the country open or are the hot babes open? Both.
Soon.
Good morning, Gio and Paul. Good to see you, Paul. Let's see. Just met a cute 29-year-old Filipina here in Canada. She's fresh off the boat, so hopefully I can keep her for a while before she gets tempted and ruined by Chad and Tyrone. manner of speech.
Just I'd like to add something. I met a lot of Filipinos after my divorce in the US, and they were almost always much better than even if they'd been in the US for a while, they still have that nice personality and they're kind, and they're just different type of person than your typical, on average, than your typical westernized woman.
I agree with that. Yeah. Hey Juan, good to see you. Let's see here. We've got David over in Minnesota. Good to see you. Daniel, there's one guarantee in life, and that's death. Yep. You need to have COVID shot because Philippines is a COVID regime. Yeah. Well, but not just the Philippines. It's going to be everywhere. Travel will open up internationally for vaccinated, tested people first. Not sure if it will ever open pre-COVID, and why would they want to anyway? Too risky. Gio, not you, but most of the expats do not seem to be in good health. Is it pollution, food? Listen, it's probably just their diet and lack of exercise. It doesn't really have to do with the Philippines, because you can eat healthy here. Yep. You can cut out your sugars. You can eat vegetables and fruits and healthy stuff. So to blame it on the Philippines because of pollution or food is. Yeah.
I mean, we see many expats that are way overweight. Mm-hmm. What are they doing? They're drinking alcohol, drinking sugary drinks, don't exercise. So it's not the Philippines, it's the person.
Eating a blueberry cheesecake for breakfast every day. So you
at the same time talking about diet.
Yeah. Carlo, U.S. girls don't give me the time of day in the Philippines. I was Brad Pitt. Well, that happens. Are brownouts common in Baguio? I haven't lived in Baguio. I couldn't tell you, but I think things would probably be better, but I don't know. I don't think Paul knows either. I think you've visited, but I don't know for sure.
I visited. I was there for 3 or 4 days. We didn't have a brownout. That's all.
Diane says, I'm speechless about the differences. The swab test in my hometown, if you're middle class, is $3,500. If you're poor, okay. Dog pillows are easier than a real one. Yeah. I don't have to take a dog pillow out to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. So, Paul, sad reality about coming there is regarding having to have the vaccine, COVID shot, and all that stuff that comes with it. That eliminates a lot of us who would eventually like to come. Yeah. I mean, if you're not willing to have the shot, guess what? You're probably not traveling to a whole lot of places. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's still going to be some places.
Doesn't care because they got enough tourists from China and Korea and all that. So.
Korea and all that. So they right, exactly. But what is that? Let's see here. I've not heard of thousands of getting COVID after the vaccine. I'm sure as we speak, the Philippines government is taking to Thailand government and other Asian countries to come up with a uniform process for protocol for a process to enter each country. I really think, well, they've already said they're going to follow suit. My last video that I did on the news update, they said that. So they were emulating Thailand and Hong Kong to see what works. I'm afraid that by the time the Philippines gets their act together with regards to vaccines, that the vaccines we have now will no longer be effective and back to square one. Okay, happy thoughts. Some places in the U.S. are offering incentives to take the vaccine. What incentive would entice reluctant Filipinos to get vaccinated? Maybe 10 kilos of rice for a vaccine. Rice is life here, they say. I prefer to say that vaccine in overseas is more good than Philippines. Yeah, I think what you're saying, Diane, is probably that they don't want the Chinese vaccine. Yeah, I think they just did a study that 62% of the Filipinos would prefer to have the American vaccine. So, which makes sense. I mean, I also think that the Philippines is going to open until January. Oh, you don't think it will open until January next year, but I hope I could be a little earlier. Yeah, I mean, I hope it is earlier, but I don't think so. but Paul thinks so. So maybe I buy him a coffee or he buys me a coffee.
Hopefully.
Yeah. CDC confirmed jab giving young adults serious heart issues. $5 for Paul and his coffee fund. So Paul, I do owe you. Maybe we'll head over to Tom Tom's a little bit later. The key to my happiness is finding a work-life balance, which I am still working on the balance part. That's the key. Yeah, it really is. Personally, know people who have had a vaccine and later got COVID. It's an experiment. The vaccine humans are the guinea pigs. I don't run running to get the vaccine. We'll be getting if they require it. Yeah, I don't want to get too much into the whole vaccine thing, guys. We're a bit off topic. I mean, I know it's part of the topic because you're going to need the vaccine to get here, but hey, Danny. Hey, Gio. My new condo will be done in April, May. The offer still goes. Now that you are single, maybe you want to come out to Colombia. Just saying. You know, Danny, I probably will take you up on your offer, but it'll be when I go back to the U.S. To take care of business. A quick trip to Colombia, I think, would be fantastic. I mean, it's a short flight from the U.S., so I might as well take advantage of that. If you're offering to let me stay in your condo, heck yeah, I'm on my way. Get the tequila ready. And the salsa dancers. All right. Hello, Albert. Good to see you. I really enjoyed SMC side, top floor, Sunset. Yeah, that's a cool place. Great place to take special someone. Yep, absolutely. That's a good spot. Tops is good. Sky deck here. 20 minutes of meditation, meditation, excuse me, can make a difference in a day. Yeah. If you're already unhappy, just move to El Paso and leave the rest of us alone. That's funny. Good morning, Gio Paul. How long are you planning on staying in Mocktown, Newtown? That's a good question, Ephraim. I'll go first. I'll let Paul answer. I'm going to stay here as long as I'm happy. I'm on a 6-month lease. I got about 4 months to go. In 4 months, if I'm kind of bored of the place and I've seen everything, I feel like I've seen everything that I want to, then I probably won't extend and maybe I'll go to Mindanao would probably be my next step. And if I'm still happy, maybe I renew another 6 months. But I know that when things open up and all the Chinese and Koreans and all the foreigners start to come back into Mocktown, Newtown, maybe I don't like it as much as I did before, and I probably wouldn't stay here. What about you, Paul?
Basically, when things open up and it gets too busy here, when you have like neighbors and people on top and people below and kids running in the corridors and much more traffic and much more tourism, that's when I say I'm out of here.
Right. How do we know you're in the Philippines? I hear no roosters. Well, actually, Gomer Hike, I've never been to the Philippines. What I do is I hire Filipinos that are living in the U.S. to walk around behind me, and I pipe in some rooster noise and dogs barking, and next thing you know, I have a channel called Gio in the Philippines, and 25,000 subscribers. So what do you do to convince them, Paul?
I think I'm going to record some roosters and dogs barking and play it in the background in my next live stream.
That's all you need. They seem to miss it, so I think they want it.
Yeah. I don't miss it.
No, I don't either. The Filipina named Crystal. How are you doing? There's no mistaking her name unless she's Filipina from her title.
Yeah.
After the 6 years I've been here in the Philippines, I have to say it's a nice place to be.
Yeah. I love it here. I really do.
I do too. I agree, Paul. Location will not change their attitude. No, it doesn't. More like roosters on the cooking pot boiling with the papayas and cabbage for lunch. That sounds good, Diane. Rooster with papayas and cabbage. Howdy from Texas. Ditch the doom and gloom crowd. Yep, I agree.
Done.
Yeah. Hate the roosters. Really, Ron? I don't think I've ever heard you say that before. Smoking pot in the Dumagetti, they're a big deal. Yeah, I would say it's a big deal. You better be careful about that.
Yeah.
Mr. Ron is a supporter of KFC. You never hear any roosters around KFC stores in the Philippines. Coincidence? I think not. $600 a month can get you a condo in town and a little house in the mountains. Probably, yeah, you probably could do that. Why do you feel the Philippines won't open until January? The economy needs to help. The politicians don't agree. I don't know for sure, guys. I'm just making an estimated guess. I just feel like the track record of the way things have been happening, you know, they 2 steps forward, or excuse me, 1 step forward, 2 steps back type, you know, things that have been going on here. I just feel like it's going to be next year. I don't have any concrete evidence to back that, but well, hopefully it is earlier. Here's one for Paul. Paul, I would like to date a province girl with no internet and no English. Any advice?
No English?
Okay. And no internet. Well, you need
come
to
here, go to the province and find one that doesn't speak English and just smile and do that with the hand signs.
Hand signs.
Go like this to her.
Yeah. Is there a better alternative to PhilHealth in the Philippines? Yes. Well, there's a link down in my description for what I use, and there's other healthcare that you can purchase here as well. I use the one that I use because I like to be able to bounce around. It follows me from country to country. But you can get different health insurance just for the Philippines. PhilHealth is really just almost like a discount plan. Like it takes a certain percentage off of the bill. It's not really a health insurance per se. But yeah, definitely. It's you would get PhilHealth, and that would be a supplement to your own, to maybe health insurance. Let's see here.
Is so cheap too. So
it's very cheap. Yeah. For a moment there, it looked like it was going to go bankrupt, or it did go bankrupt, I think.
Yeah.
Everyone's definition of good and bad are different. One's experience in a country may not be another's happiness. Yep, that's true. I am using the drone this week. I will be using the drone this week, so I'm excited about that. Already had COVID, vitamin C, D, K, and eat healthy every day. I don't feel I need the vaccine. I feel great. Yeah, I mean, I agree with all of that, but unfortunately, if you want to travel, you're going to need it. Paul, where do you see yourself in 1 year's time?
I don't know. I have so many different plans, contingents on different things, and put it this way: if I did get a job back in the oil industry, I'd probably go back to work for 2-3 more years, and if not, I'm thinking about Norway, I'm thinking about Spain, I'm thinking about here, I'm thinking about Malaysia. There's a lot of stuff I want to do, and where I end up, I think is, I don't know. I really don't know. It goes where it'll go. I love it here, so I might just end up staying here.
Oh, Dr. Rupp says he's a massage therapist for 21 years, just a nickname. Yeah, I know. Just messing with you. So Paul asked Gio out on a date. They had dinner. They hit it off. He's talking about how we met. Actually, I actually met Paul and Mia together. So I was the third. I was the third wheel.
And you had your date back then with you. So
I did. I was with King at that time.
Yeah.
Well, not the first meet. I was single. The very first time we met, I was single then. Like the next time we met up, I was, yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Hello. Biological age 57. Sometimes I'm missing what the comments are meaning here. Ed, I'm fully vaccinated. Have travel plan for early March 22 to meet my LDR and take her. Okay, I already read that. Never been happier. Hey Jess, how you doing? I have a business here and can do well, but if I leave my kid, afraid won't be able to handle. But I would definitely be happy there. Yeah. Clark, how you doing? Let's see here. Let's see. Would you guys prepared? Would you go to Phil? What age would you guys prepare? Like, what is the ideal age? My answer for that, my short answer is as soon as you can. If you can afford it in your 40s, why wait? It's all about what you can afford, and do you have passive income, and do you have enough to give you a good life? I mean, is there an ideal age for you? I mean,
me personally, I like to work, so I'm an engineer, but I think some people like to accomplish something in life, and maybe so 50s to me is the ideal. Don't wait to 65 or 70. 50 to me, like early 50s to me, is an idea, because you're still, somewhat able to walk in the nature and enjoy all that stuff, as well as go on trips and do all that stuff. So 50s. To me, I think most people really can't afford to retire before early 50s, but I think early 50s is, to me, is a good age, or late 40s. Yeah.
Hi guys, what percentage of older 60-plus expats are without wives or girlfriends? I would say a small percentage. If they're living here, I think the majority of 60-plus have a wife or a girlfriend that they're with usually. It's a small percentage that don't. Everyone looks good after midnight. Exotic is defined as something you are not accustomed to seeing. Yep. So I would say, yeah, very exotic. Filipinos. Because if we look brown, we look old, ugly. No, that's not true. No. Filipinas girls, dark skin, long, dark hair is the best. Don't try to be like American women. They're nasty and crazy. I agree with the nasty and crazy. Are brownouts common in Baguio? Yeah, I think we answered that. I have an albino girlfriend there in the Philippines. She's good friends with Capri, fellow in a tree. I'm so lucky. Okay. Sorry, I'm fashionably late again. Hey, Paul, Gio insists that Marion is just his friend. Can you give us the real story?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, he knows. He knows.
I know. They are just friends, really. I mean, I haven't met her in person, but yeah. She likes to take Gio around and show him places for his vlog. So.
Yes. Hey guys, happy spelled B-U-S-Y. It's always good to be busy. Where to find thick Filipinas?
You'll find them
everywhere. Okay. Hey, thanks for your time and great info, Paul and Gio. Take care, buddy. I'm probably going to go another 10 minutes or so, guys. So let's see, Gio, do you have a minimum rank in order to qualify for that? No, there's no minimum rank. Just a honorable discharge, your DD 214. Is there any small storage unit places? Yeah, well, Paul could answer this.
Here in Mactan, I mean, here in Lapu-Lapu there is, in Cebu City there is. I looked at 2 different places. The one I'm at, I'm paying $300 for a whole year, and it's big. It's got place for 2 scooters and lots of boxes, and it's only $300 a year. So I'm probably going to end up keeping it for the remaining time I'm in the Philippines, because I have a lot of books and stuff that I don't want to get rid of. So I'm just keeping that place. Yeah.
Okay. Smoking pot a big deal in the Philippines, Paul? What do you think?
I don't smoke pots. I don't know, but they are since the 30 came, they're very strict on drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be careful.
Very careful. Good morning, Gio and Paul. I'm enjoying your take on Lapu-Lapu. I'm now back in Australia after spending most of last year in Cebu City. Yeah, I'm liking Lapu-Lapu. Any Jeeps for rent in Cebu? Probably would be hard to find. Back to IT gigs. Are there any issues with remote IT gigs? Well, yeah. I mean, you can do remote work. Sure. That's probably what I would be looking into, is not finding an IT job here. You're going to find a higher paying job anyway, remotely. Filipinos fly to Mexico and come into the USA illegally. Our president will take care of all your needs. All right. that has to do with the topic. If you don't bring her to the USA, she can't get you for. If you don't bring her to the US, she can't get you for anything dollars.
Well, I can tell you, like I said, I was married to Filipina and I had a prenup, so it didn't cost me anything. Well, it cost me $5,000, which I gave her. Just so. But yeah.
How many are we when we start? Are you talking about the live stream? I think we hit like 376. Didn't quite get to 400 today. Incorrect. There are 2 guarantees in life: death and taxes. Yeah, that's for sure. Hey, Larry, how you doing? And we got Jose. How you doing there? Let's see. I filed for K1 visa. Do you think the U.S. will require vaccination for my Filipina? I couldn't answer that, Larry. It's quite possible, but the U.S. isn't requiring it right now. So if you have a bank in the Philippines, the IRS wants to know all about it, or you're in trouble. They want to, they do want to know about it if you have over a certain amount of money here. You have to fill out all kinds of new forms and stuff. So yeah. They need to start a rumor that the vaccine will whiten your skin. Yeah. And then all the Filipinos will take it. Yeah. How bad is the Chinese problem? As far as, you have to be more specific. If I never saw a piece of rice again, I'd be happy. I mean, I actually like black rice and red rice. I like it. Philippines will definitely open this year. The U.S. has already committed to giving away 80 million vaccines before the end of June for those countries that need it. Okay. Money may not buy happiness, but it does. I would say people are certainly happier when they don't have the bill collectors knocking on the door. It does buy a bit of happiness, I would say. Gio, is there an alternative better than PhilHealth? I think I just answered that. It's like some of these are repeated. Do you have a step-by-step checklist on the Philippines, finding your happiness when moving here? I don't know. I mean, everybody's going to be different, so I don't know if my checklist would match what your checklist is. All right.
My checklist would be plan and make sure you have something to do here, that you keep yourself busy. Like the one guy said, happiness is spelled busy. So keep yourself busy. That's, and plan it out. Don't just come here and not know what to do. Yeah.
Gio, I'm planning 36 locations in 36 months. Any problem with that thinking? No, I mean, there's no problem with that thinking. Me personally, I just, I go to a place and I stay as long as I'm happy and having fun and a good time. If I get bored of the place, then I like to move on to the next place. I guess that's why maybe I was kind of unhappy in Dumaguete, is because I was really kind of done with Dumaguete. I really had wanted to leave.
I'd say, Carlos, start a YouTube channel because I'd like to subscribe.
Yeah, no kidding. 36 places. That could be the name of the channel. 36 locations, 36 months. Smoking. Okay. Somebody repeat. Why is January my opening time frame, and why is Paul saying sooner? For me, because I'm seeing lockdowns and stuff still happening, like in Dumaguete and Davao. I'm seeing a lot of people are still opposed to, a lot of some senators opposed to opening the Philippines internationally. That's why I'm saying next year. Paul, why are you saying sooner?
Because I'm seeing more and more vaccines coming to the Philippines and accelerated rate. There's an election next year, so the politicians have to take that into account. The economy is horrible. And I think more and more people are pushing, more and more businesses are pushing to open up because a lot of places are on the rand of bankruptcy or have gone bankrupt.
Yeah. Too much bad info on the vax. There's no basis in thousands getting anything. It's been 3 months since my second shot. No problems. Anything bad would make big news immediately. Yeah. Money does not buy you happiness, but it does buy you options.
Yeah.
That's very well stated. Yeah. Mindanao, you're not scared? No, I've never been scared in Mindanao, and I've been to Davao, General Santos, Cagayan de Oro, Iligan City, and I took a bus 4 times from Davao to General Santos back to Davao to Cagayan de Oro, and then I drove from Cagayan or to Iligan City, and I never felt nervous. Don't go into the Zamboanga del Sur. Would I do it? I would probably do it, but I probably would only go for like a week. I'd stay within the city. But, okay. Gio, would you move to Davao? Yeah, I lived in Davao for 6 months. Okay, I'll need my $5 back. He's actually the same studio they used for the moon landings. Peter Panos, you are happy when you never hear a rooster anymore. Yeah, I'm not a fan of roosters. When you're 3 years up, you do have a couple of options. You can file for a motion for reconsideration, and you can see if they'll extend, or you can leave. But at 3 year mark, you have to leave for 24 hours, and then you can come back, and then, yeah.
Also, what some people are doing are just not going back and just waiting this thing out, but they're going to get a lot of fines and going to have to pay a big fine. And if you stay too long, if you overstay too long, you're actually blacklisted. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Money doesn't make you happy, but money buys you a jet ski, and I've never seen anybody unhappy on a jet ski. Great Italian place, Costa Shangri-La Resort, Giuseppe's. I ate there the other night. I was telling you about that, Paul. Fantastic. Yeah, you'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Paul and Mia, not Paul and May. That's no. That's old Paul. Okay, and May have their rooster sitting on the couch behind them.
Yeah.
Where is Mila today?
I don't know where Mila is. I don't know who Mila is.
How about Mia? Where is Mia?
She's visiting family in Dumaguete. She's got quite a few things to do.
Okay. How you doing, Monroe? Good to see you from Greensboro, North Carolina. Actually, it should be KFR for Mr. Ron. Kentucky Fried
Rooster, yeah.
Mr. Ron also hates rice, but goes so well with, I can never pronounce that, rooster and wine sauce French dish. Yeah. If you can't sleep because of roosters, just wear earplugs. Plug after a while, it becomes background noise anyway. Yeah.
What I did, I lived in one apartment before coming here, and it was very noisy, and I bought these little Bluetooth things that fit in your ear, and they're very small, and I just played the sound of rain. So there's solutions to it.
There are. White sticky rice is bad for you. Yeah, because it's got sugar in it. Usually PhilHealth are the biggest scammers ever. Having a stroke and you're waiting in front of the hospital, first your card. Else no help. Great country. First your card.
They're saying basically if you don't have health insurance, they're not going to do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. Should I bring it is a cash society too. Should I bring a lot of Imodium AD in as their vaccine for 6-inch mosquitoes? Honestly, I've never really had a problem with mosquitoes here. I don't know about you, but I don't know what it is. I've never really been bothered.
Mosquitoes are not that bad.
No. Imodium, stay away from the street food and the water for a while until you're used to the stuff here. Bob from Arkansas, how long can a foreigner stay in the Philippines, and can you get a permanent visa while you're in the Philippines? You can stay for 3 years on a tourist visa without having to leave. You can get a retirement visa if you're over age 50. So, Kaiser Senior Hair is a good alternative for hospitalization. Imodium is a friend. My next live stream is not going to be for another week, which is why I'm actually talking today. I won't keep Paul, but maybe I'll go a little bit longer because there's still a lot of people.
Okay.
So you need to take off. Maybe we'll grab a coffee later.
Okay. Just text me.
Okay.
Take care, man.
Take care.
Bye to everybody.
Bye. All right, guys. So again, I apologize. If anybody wants to join the live stream, I'm more than happy to send a invite. I know, Diane, you had said you would join the live stream at one point if you're still watching, Diane. Guten Morgen. I think that's for Guten Morgen. I think that's for Paul, because he's Norwegian. Biological age is the true matter of your health condition and projected longevity. Filipinas, feminine Western females have manly haircuts, dyed green, blue, purple, and are feminists. So, hey guys, off topic, how much do braces for your teeth cost there? I just got a quote for $9,000 here in the States. Oh, so much cheaper. I couldn't give you an exact quote on it, but I can tell you it's probably going to be 1/10 the cost. At least 1/10. Is it easy to date a Filipina even if you're having some difficulty dating women at home? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why you're having difficulty at home as to, for what reason, but yeah. Lapu-Lapu is lovely, always staying in dirty, smoking traffic. Come on, get real. Now, I'm talking about Mactan. Now, are there parts of Lapu-Lapu that are smoky, dirty traffic? Yes. Guess what? The whole Philippines is like that. That is around the Philippines. That's just the way it is. But there are sections in the Philippines that are nice. And Mactan is like that. If you've seen any of my walking videos through Mactan, Newtown, there are no jeepneys. There's no traffic in Mactan, Newtown. And it's nice and clean. And they strictly enforce, cleanliness. And there's no trash on the ground. So Paul had a prenup, yeah. Considering the comments I'm seeing here today, I wonder if you guys have watched Coach Red Pill's recent YouTube video entitled American Women Are Garbage. He doesn't pull any punches. Paul's Asian Adventure maybe has seen that. But if you brought her to the U.S. on a K-1. Been waiting for 1.5 years to retire to the Philippines. Can't take the U.S. much longer. Any other Southeast countries due to open? Yeah, you have Thailand. Indonesia, you can get in. You can get into Indonesia with a business visa. I think we just answered that. Mia is in Dumaguete visiting family. Southeast Asia is taking so long to open that I'm losing interest. Yeah. Well, I know you, Ed. You said you want to go to Nicaragua. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. Any U.S. citizens with the foreign bank account need to make a fact filing to the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. Yep. Yep. Where I come from, we have a saying, money doesn't make you happy, but the lack of it makes you miserable. That's a good saying, because I would agree with that. Colors of rice, can you give a fast breakdown of other than white and brown? There's red and black. Black would be the healthiest rice for you. It has the more antioxidants, or the most antioxidants, but yeah. Hey, Christopher, good to see you. There is a golf course on the Shangri-La Resort has a golf course just down the road. Best to keep the numbers down to just those that are 40 years or older and can have 100K or more saved up. Everyone is lacking money in the Philippines. Sure, you'll be happy when you're there and loaded. So with the military SRRV, they still have not changed it that only ex-military officers can apply for it, even though you don't have to be an officer, which is weird, isn't it? Yeah. The world is closing for the Philippines and exit when there are elections. You don't want to be there. Oh, that's not true. You can be there with the elections. I've been here during the elections. It doesn't change anything. Paul, who do you think the government could care less about private business with their citizens? Paul just exited. California's dictator-in-chief Gavin Newsom refuses to give a lifeline for lifting the stupid mask mandate, yet the magical day for reopening is June 15th. If married to a Filipina, do you still have to leave after 3 years? No, I don't think you do. Never marry a Filipina. Oh, come on, that's garbage. A lot of people marry a Filipina and they're happy. I mean, if you want to argue and say I don't believe in marriage, then that's one thing. But my previous statement: best to keep the expat long stay foreigners out if they are immature and broke. if they're immature. I thought the retirement visa age, they changed it. It's now 50 and older, no longer 35. They got rid of that. Thanks, Gio Paul. Another informative video. It's really helpful you guys answer questions directly. I appreciate that. I think this is for Paul. Dengue fever, where there's no easily attainable vaccine. Example, mosquito bites kills more people in the Philippines in 2020, 2021 than COVID-19. Same for Thailand. That's true. I would agree with that. I paid my Filipino neighbor good money for his rooster, then I dispatched of it. I thought, that's better. Next week, he had 10 more trying to sell them to me. That's a funny story. That's a funny story. Hey, guys, enjoyed watching a meeting of the Duma Escapees Club, giving great advice to people who have never been to the Philippines. The Duma Escapees Club. What is that? Hello, all, and have a nice day. Thank you, Vincent. Are the Philippines opening up soon? Of course, for you, Ryan. Yes, they are. I really wanted to go to Southeast Asia. I've been all over Latin America, including Cuba. Well, I mean, you can get to Indonesia, Ed, and you could go to Thailand. So, you know. Hey, Larry, how you doing? Good to see you. So if the SRRV is now 50 and older, can someone younger than 50 stay there for more than a month extension? Yeah, you can stay there for up to 3 years on a tourist visa. You can still stay up to 3 years. I predict all the guys saying they've lost interest in the Philippines or Thailand are going to be the first ones over on the plane over. It's worth it to go there, COVID or not. I agree, Neil. There's still hardly any place like this out there, really. This is a fantastic place. So you can file a 13A marriage visa for the Philippines. All the peeps who want to leave the dream city of Dumaguete. Okay. It's rare and also expensive, but I'd recommend getting the Japanese encephalitis vaccine if you're staying long-term in Southeast Asia. No way I'm going to roll the dice with an infected mosquito. Yeah. This is a good lesson to travel when you can, because you never know what can happen. Look at the Venezuela. Parts of the Middle East can never travel there. I'm so happy the anti-vaxxers will not be coming to the Philippines. This is the one group that will suck the energy out of any conversation. Good. Is that a Frankenstein picture there? Okay, like I said, contact the big man at Cebu. He happily helps you for some money. Every immigration worker with gold clocks around their wrist are open to be contracted. I don't know some of your information there, Peter. Would you get the dengue vaccine, PX? I think he's asking about that. Thanks for a great live stream. Great day. Hope to have a coffee with you and Paul at Tom and Tom's when things open up. Cheers, Neil. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, guys, I've been going a little more than an hour and a half. Unless we get some more comments here, I will probably end this here pretty shortly. Let's see here. All right, yep, Paul has left the building. So let's see here. Okay, I think we got caught up on all the comments here finally. So we are good to go. Let's see. Yeah, thank you, Vince. Hey, Chaz, how you doing? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Again, if you guys weren't watching, I will be heading down south for about a week. So I won't be doing any live streams for about a week or so. I do have a bunch of videos coming out every few days while I'm gone, so it'll keep you entertained. So thanks for the stream, Gio. Enjoyed it. Yeah, no problem. This this comment so he'll keep the streaming a little bit longer. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, no problem. Thanks from Cavite. Oh, okay, Cavite. I've been there. I've been to Tagaytay, and then of course I took a bus all the way down from Tagaytay to Makati, so I ended up stopping off and going to Bacoor, Dasmariñas, Imus. So yeah, still waiting, brother. I check every day. Oh, very, very good. My final summary about happiness: find your happiness before you get out here. If you're expecting the Philippines to make you happy, or if you're expecting one person to make you happy, like a lot of people just say they're miserable and they get out here and they want to meet a Filipina and they think that that's going to change everything. It doesn't. So, yeah, find your happiness before you get out here, and find activities to do, or you will be extremely bored. Hey, good morning, Tess. I appreciate that, Ron. What's for breakfast? Eggs and corned beef hash. Thanks, Edwin. How you doing, Michael? Enjoy Mactan, where my aunt lives. Cebu is a fun place, but you need to like traffic. Yep. I like Mactan Newtown because it's a little bubble away from everything, and I like it. So thank you, Baron. I appreciate that. Take care, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end it. So we are caught up on the comments, and I'm going to go ahead and get my day started. So appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. Take care, everybody.